Hello and welcome back to Race Recap. My name is Jackson. This past weekend we had all 30 series racing at the Nashville Super Speedway, and it's the mile and a third track. It's made of concrete actually that they came back to last year and are coming back to once again. They went there in the 2000s, 2009 through the 11s, I believe, somewhere around that time period. And I'm not sure quite why they stopped racing there, but I'm really glad they're coming back because of the great action that it always provides. So the truck race was under the lights past Friday night, and it was a 150 lap event. The first caution early on when Jack Wood in the 24 spun out and backed it into the wall after being hit and from behind by the 88 of Matt Crafton, who tried to get inside of him through 3 and 4 but could not quite get there, and they made contact. Then the second caution was a similar looking accident. This time it involved the 30 truck. Camden Murphy was in it this weekend. He spun and backed it hard into the outside wall. Unclear if there was contact, but it would appear that there was from the truck behind. And again, the 30, I thought it was going to be Tate Fogleman all year. It's what it was announced to be, Tate all year long. But last weekend, as we know, it was not. It was Josh Balicki at Sonoma, and then I'm not drawing a blank who it was at Knoxville. And this weekend they have someone else in the truck. It was Camden Murphy this past weekend, so I'm not too sure what's going on with Tate Vogelman, but he was trying to get into the race with the 26 Rackley War truck. They, of course, have Matt DiBenedetto's truck. Unfortunately, he did not make the race with a couple other guys and girls. I believe he actually crashed during qualifying, so it's a torn up number 26 truck. I believe he kept it out of the wall, but was unable to start this race. When they got back going, the third caution was the stage one winner, Zane Smith, in the 38. And then under caution, just as Colby Howard was coming to cross the line to end stage one, no, there's no replay, I don't believe, but he must have gotten hit from behind or just lost it. He spun it exiting turn number 4 and went right down pit road after the caution had already flown for the 10 trucks crossing to end stage one, but he was able to keep it going straight. Then the fourth caution was for the Ford truck. John Hernimacek spun through the infield grass. Fifth caution was stage 2 winner Ryan Preece, who won this race last year in that same Hunt Brothers number 17 truck for David Gillen. Then the sixth caution was for the 62 of Todd Bodine, who went spinning down the front stretch, and this was his, I believe, 799th start, and he'll have one more start at Pocono later in the year to make it 800 starts across all 3 series: NASCAR, Cup Series, Xfinity, and Truck. So that's pretty remarkable for Todd. And then the seventh caution was on that restart. They tried to go 4 wide into turns 3 and 4. That just does not work at a little track like Nashville, the mile and a third. It was Grant Enfinger, Corey Heim, and Matt DiBenedetto who all made contact. Ty Majeski was the one who actually initiated the 4 wide, going down to the way bottom. DiBenedetto slid up along with Corey Heim and Grant Enfinger, all 3 of them collectively hard into the outside wall. And the 18 of Chandler Smith got hit by the 99 of Ben Rhodes, trying to avoid. And the eighth and final caution brought out on that restart. The one truck of Haley Deegan either lost it or got turned around just as they were going up through the gears, entering turn number 1, right up into the side of the 91 of Colby Howard and giving her some pretty severe nose damage. And the checkers went to the 17 truck of Ryan Preece. So he won the race last year and he won it again this year in the Truck Series. And that's actually back-to-back wins for David Gillen race. Of course, they won last weekend at Knoxville. So the top 10 here were Ryan Preece, Zane Smith, Carson Holtzfart, Ty Majeski, Stuart Friesen, Christian Eckes, Tyler Ankrum, Max Gutierrez. Great finish for him. He was driving for Tim Self in the number 22 car. Austin Wayne Self should be back in the truck, though, for Mid-Ohio. And then John Hernimacek and Matt Crafton round out top 10. DNF's this race, Matt DiBenedetto out for the accident, along with Grant Enfinger, Corey Heim, and Camden Murphy, and Jack Wood. And then the 46 truck of Chase Janes had rear gear issues. He actually, I believe, had the same issue during practice and qualifying. And I'm not sure if he knew that he was going to make the race till just prior, because the qualifying times were deleted for Trey Hutchins and Max Gutierrez. They were both solidly in the field, but Max was still able to start the race, of course, finished 8th in the race. But Trey did not have enough points to start the race, so that allowed Chase Janes, who did not initially make the race, to start the race, unfortunately. Again, that rear gear problem. The next day, Saturday evening, 188 laps made up the Xfinity race. The first caution was the end of stage 1, which went to Justin Allgaier. Second caution was once again Justin Allgaier winning stage number 2, swept both stages. The third caution was when the 8 of Josh Berry, his teammate at Junior Motorsports, spun around after it looked like just a little bit of contact. Not any real contact, it was just the air that took around Berry from behind. That was the 5 of Ryan Preece, who was racing for BJ McLeod. And then the fourth caution was when the 26 of Jeffrey Earnhardt got loose in 3 and 4 underneath the 2 of Sheldon Creed. He slipped into him and spun down the front, but was able to keep it going straight. The fifth caution on that restart was the final full course caution. It was when the 2 of Sheldon Creed looked like they were trying to go 4 wide in the 1 and 2, and as we found out in the truck race, that does not really work out. There was some contact made between he and Jeb Burton. They both slid up hard into the outside wall, and the '07 of Joe Graff Jr. committed to the high line. Nowhere to go for him, plowing into both the 27 and the 2. And then there was no caution, actually. I think it was on this restart. Myatt Snyder, who was running toward the back of the field, spun around, and there was some room down the back stretch where there's a little bit of concrete, so he was able to slide it on there and keep it going straight, so no caution. And then again, no caution when on the front stretch, two guys that have some history together, Sam Mayer and Ty Gibbs, either in the Xfinity or the ARCA Menard series, they got tangled up, and Gibbs was sliding down the front straightaway, but never got fully turned around because he leaned on the one of Sam Mayer to get it back going straight. I believe there was some contact there. But they went all the way to the end after this, and the checkers went to the 7 of Justin Allgaier, swept both stages and the race. So the top 10 here were Justin Allgaier, Trevor Bayne in the 18, Riley Herbst, Ty Gibbs, Sam Mayer, Ryan Preece, Jeffrey Earnhardt, great finish for him in 7th, and then Austin Hill, Ryan Sieg, and Brett Moffitt round out top 10. The next race, Josh Williams had electrical issues. Jeb Burton, Sheldon Creed, Joe Graff Jr. all out for the accident. And Kyle Weatherman in the 34 had power steering issues. And then on Sunday, it was the Cup Series running 300 laps at Nashville. The first caution brought out pretty early on when it was a red flag, actually. I'm not too sure what brought out the accident because there was rain in the area, and I believe there was debris also on track. And the 77 of Josh Bilicki was also slowed down the back straightaway. But either way, there was a caution flown, and immediately after it happened, there was some rain, which led to a red flag and a stoppage of action. Actually, really didn't rain that hard. It was actually some lightning in the area, which sent this race into a red flag. But they were able to get back going, and the second caution was when the 48 of Alex Bowman spun and backed it hard into the outside wall. The third caution on that restart when the 14 and the 42 got tangled up in turns 1 and 2. Chase Briscoe in the 14 and the 42, Ty Dillon, they both got up into the outside wall pretty hard, and Chase Briscoe actually had to pull behind the wall but was able to get back out on track later. Then the fourth caution was the Stage 1 winner, Martin Truex Jr. Then the fifth caution was for a light sprinkle on track. I don't believe it was much rain, but they were able to keep going without a red flag or any stoppage, so free pit stop right there. And the sixth caution was for lightning immediately turning into a heavy downpour at the Nashville Super Speedway. And this led to a lengthy delay, I believe a little over 2 hours. And I thought they were going to postpone the race at least till Monday at noon was when it was said it could be. But the track crews got the track into condition, and there are lights here, of course. So we were able to get back going in the night, which changed a lot of crew chief strategy because it was supposed to just be a day race. So when they got back going, Martin Truex Jr. still was able to dominate winning both stages, actually, including stage 2. And then the eighth caution was when the 17 of Chris Buescher, during I think green flag pit stops going on, had a right rear tire come off, and that is a no-no. That's going to be a hefty penalty for him and the 17 camp. Chris Buescher's crew chief will be out for a couple weekends, along with a tire changer and I believe a jackman. So that was an eighth caution because he also slid into the outside wall. Can't drive with 3 wheels, so he spun it out there. And then the ninth caution was for some debris on track. And the 10th and final caution happened with under 10 laps remaining. The 77 of Josh Bilicki, he blew up in turns 3 and 4, creating a smoke shield down the front straightaway, leaving lots of fluid on track. Of course, no choice to throw the caution in the situation. And there was a split bag on whether or not to come down pit road or not. Tires really didn't seem to be that much of a big deal for this past weekend. But a couple guys, including Kyle Busch, who was running right up front, I think he was second actually, decided to come down pit road. A couple guys behind him came in as well. But it did not pay off in the latter parts of this race. Under 10 laps to go on this restart. It was Chase Elliott in the 9 car who was able to win the race, and he's actually doing pretty good on concrete, 2 for 2, of course, winning on the high banks of Dover earlier in the year on that short mile track. I also the top 10 here were Chase Elliott, Kurt Busch came out of nowhere, and then followed by Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson, Ross Chastain, Denny Hamlin, Austin Cindric, Christopher Bell, Joey Logano, and Kevin Harvick rounding out top 10. And Kyle Busch was not in that top 10. I believe he fell all the way back to 18th. Might have lost a couple positions through all that mixed bag of stops. Ross Chastain was the first car to make it up to 5th place who came in for tires. DNFs in this race, just 2. Josh Bilicki with the engine and Alex Bowman out with damaged vehicle policy. Well, that's all for race recap. Come join us next week, and when we will have a fun one for you on Independence Day. It's the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series going road course racing. That's at Road America.